The book before this was a nonfiction book about snakes in as a symbol, basically. So snakes in pop culture. You think of Britney Spears dancing with banana, or snakes in a plane. Snakes in pretty much every religion. Snakes are featured in some way or a symbol of typically evil, occasionally not. And one of the things I researched for that book was signs following Pentecostal churches, which are illegal in all states except for West Virginia now. But 50 years ago, were very popular. There are thousands of them spread across the South, mostly in Appalachia. And I was very fascinated with how genuine the faith seemed. That's what surprised me the most when I was researching it. If you look at kind of contemporary services, first of all, it's difficult to find footage because people know that this is a strange practice and they don't want to be judged for it. So the ones that are open to the public, they have a performative quality. But if you look at something like the documentary Holy Ghost People, which was directed by Peter Adair, in the 1960s, it's lively, and not just the snakes. The people are lively. They're playing bluegrass music. It's a diverse crowd. In that particular documentary, the sermons about, it's like a civil rights sermon in favor of supporting the civil rights movement. And you're thinking, oh, this is a place, I could join this congregation. And then after about an hour, they bring out these burlap sacks. Yeah, you're shaking your head. They bring out these burlap sacks. And they bring
Yeah.
out venomous snakes. And it's all based around this one verse in the book of Mark, which says that he shall drink poison and handle dangerous snakes and shall not be harmed. And that was really fascinating to me. And that kind of just stayed on my mind after I finished this nonfiction book. And I'd had this idea of retelling measure for measure around a serpent handling church years ago, a decade ago, but I didn't really have the knowledge. I didn't really have the sensitivity, honestly, I think, to write this story. And the research gave me that ability, or at least gave me the confidence to think, let's try this, because I think there's an interesting parallel between Shakespeare's play, which is very much about genuine faith, but also abusive faith, sort of abuse of power. And I thought there's really something interesting there in these churches as well, where there's a lot of genuine faith. There's a lot of potential for abuse of power because they are so isolated. These communities tend to be isolated.